Welcome to another episode of the Frame Second Podcast. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Mike. Next to me, I have Rod.
What up, man?
Next to me, I have Spike.
What up, though?
Next to Spike, I have Ken.
Hola.
We are talking about the new movie Together, which I did not write down who directed it, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and go around the room. Spike, what did you think of Together?
It was entertaining until it got too ridiculous. They did a good job of when you wonder what's going on, starting with the dogs and okay, how's this gonna play out, and then it just fell off a cliff.
Damn.
Like a quarter, like a third of the way through. It's like, what the fuck is happening right now? So
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like it had a really good review from you. Ken, what did you think of Together?
I enjoyed it. It was slow in parts. Questions about certain things and how they were going to do this or that. I felt like they took a minute to get to the stuff I wanted to see, but overall, I enjoyed it. The version or adjacent to a Human Centipede or something like that.
adjacent to what?
You ain't never
That's a
seen
weird
Human
comparison.
Oh, what was it?
Centipede. Yeah, it's probably a Human Centipede.
Oh, gotcha.
I got
Probably.
things that it's very similar to, but that didn't come up on my.
Not that one. Okay.
If y'all are listening, patrons, please vote for Spike to watch Human Centipede and review it.
don't.
Rod, what did you think of Together?
No, this is good, man. I enjoyed this one. It was disturbing in moments, but it was a good disturbing thing. But no, man, yeah, this ultimately was good. This was good. I walked away being like, nah, that was good. That was pretty fucking good. That's how I felt.
Spike face.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Well, the movie is directed by Michael Shanks and written by Michael Shanks. Stars Dave Franco and Alison Brie. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. This was a movie that I won't say I was necessarily looking forward to, but after fucking up and watching the fucking trailer, which I shouldn't have watched, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I am a little tired of the metaphor-heavy horror movies. I feel like this is becoming a little bit too much of a thing, and it's getting to be a little annoying to where it's like, bro, I just want to see some really fucked up shit. It doesn't have to have some fucking message, but I think this was pretty well done. And Spike's looking at me like I don't know what the message was, but we'll get to that.
Do not.
We will get to
I
it.
missed all the messages.
And maybe no one got the message. I don't know, but we'll see.
It did remind me, y'all talking about, it reminded me of that movie that we saw with Demi Moore.
Yeah, The Substance.
Yeah, The Substance.
That was one that was on my list. I feel like this was a mixture of Midsummer, The Substance, and this movie Possession. I don't feel like this was a super original movie, but that's fine. I just thought it was still pretty well done. But when I saw the monster, I was like, oh, that looks exactly like The Substance. Okay.
Yeah.
And The Thing. Sorry, it was definitely.
Damn, I didn't even think about the substance.
I
about
didn't
the monster
either.
at the end.
Oh wow.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But that,
Body horror is definitely becoming the new hotness for Hollywood. So yeah, it definitely reminded me a lot of The
How I
Substance.
didn't think of the substance. That's crazy.
All right. Well, it starts out with people are looking for a lost couple, but we end up showing these two dogs. And after the dogs drink some water in a cave, they end up fusing together. So Spike, is this a good start?
Yeah, it was really mysterious. So I was like, okay, nice opening to give me, something to work with throughout the movie as to what's going to be happening, like what was in the water, how did it happen to the dog. So it piqued my interest in the beginning.
So the one dog, the black dog, was scared, but he drunk the water too, didn't he? Mm-hmm. So
Oh, so you didn't get it. Oh, we're going to get there.
yeah, but the other dog was just freaking the fuck out, and was eating merging into that motherfucker, bro. But he should have ran. That's what he should have. But you see, if I see too much, he should have shot them damn dogs.
I would have definitely shot them.
bro. Them
He
motherfuckers
probably did.
looking at shot him before.
Oh, when they were staring at each other.
Oh,
Yeah, why would he have shot him before that? All they were doing was just standing around staring.
bro,
That's strange,
Dog,
though.
that shit's
Dogs don't-
weird.
It's not strange for a dog. Dogs are
Shit.
weird.
They never steal like that though. Like
They don't
it's
stand like
always
that,
if
bro.
they in each other's presence, it's always some type of interaction. It seems like.
I would
from my
shoot 'em, though.
experience, I would have thought something was wrong with it.
Yeah. You gotta put them down, bro.
Man, stop it. Rod, was this a cool start?
Yeah, it was absolutely a cool start. But this is why I wish I hadn't saw the part of the trailer, but I couldn't avoid it because it was in some of the movies that I had went to see.
So I already knew what was happening, but it would have been cool not to know what the fuck was gonna
Yeah.
happen. You know what I'm saying? But it still was a really good opener though.
Yeah, I wish I would have walked in completely blind at this movie. I really do. Oh,
But this part wasn't in the trailer, right?
It wasn't.
The dogs weren't, but them fusing together was in the trailer.
Okay.
And I wish they wouldn't have done that because the second one I saw the dogs, I was like, oh, well, I know how this is going to end. So, yeah, I got to just stop. I got to the point where I'm only watching half of trailers, but even half the trailer
It's hard, bro.
is giving shit away. So.
Because this trailer they were marketing this one heavy.
Very
Like,
heavy.
You go into it was definitely,
Depending on
especially
where
you try
you
to get
went,
there a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was hard to avoid it.
Yeah, I couldn't miss this one. This one's everywhere.
I'm going to start getting to the theater and I'm going to put my stuff down and then I'm going to go.
I did that.
I'm going to
I
start
did
going
that
right
last
back
time.
out the door and just waiting until the shit is over.
I've done that before too.
But yeah, next we meet Tim, played by James Franco, and Millie, played by Alison Brie, who is actually a real life couple.
Shit.
But yeah, they're a couple who've been dating for a while. It seems that Tim is the more financially dependent one, and Millie's the breadwinner. But Spike, what'd you think about that proposal?
So cringe. I was secondhand embarrassed for her. Like, I don't know why her friend didn't tell her that was a bad idea. Like,
To propose?
yeah, I feel like her friend kind of edged it on, and it just didn't seem like a good idea. He seemed like the type of guy, based off the little small introduction that we had to his character, that would respond that way. He didn't seem like he was the type that would, in front of all those people, be like, yes, marry me, after your woman just got down on one knee and proposed. I think
With
that was
no
really
ring.
cringe. Right? Huh?
So with no ring.
With no ring, just the heart.
Yeah.
What was that? I thought she was.
That's the other. That's the other form.
It did look like that, right?
I was like, what the
I thought it was how the kids do the heart
ain't
thing.
even
No,
know.
I think she was pretending that it was a box.
Yeah.
I got the box, but it looked like
that's what it was.
Hadouken to me.
Mm,
That's
it
right,
did.
from
It did.
Street Fighter.
Right.
So was that proposal cringe to you?
I mean, I've been seeing it seems like it's becoming more normalized. I've been seeing it on.
It is.
I think so.
Wait, women proposing?
Yeah,
or-
I've been seeing it on social media
Oh,
a lot,
yeah,
a
okay.
lot lately.
I thought you were talking about this shit.
No. I don't know. what the
Okay.
fuck.
No, I've never
Right,
seen
I was
this.
about to say.
So that part wasn't cringe to me. I was just like,
Okay.
it was just more so like, oh dang, he about to. It's kind of like I can kind of see that coming. Like he wasn't going to be accepting of it
Okay.
like that. So yeah, it was just what it was.
Is Dave Franco kin to James Franco?
Yeah.
Yeah,
his brother.
It's the brother.
You can't tell? They look alike.
I was trying to figure out who he looked like throughout the whole
Yeah.
movie. I ain't know
He
his
looks
name.
like his brother. All right. Well, yeah, I thought it was cringe as well. But what you're getting from that is like these two people are very different. She's obviously more outgoing. He's more kind of reserved. But I feel like he didn't immediately say yes because the situation was embarrassing for him.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
doesn't want that kind of thing.
Well, it was awkward. Like you're in the middle. Like, but I think the thing is though, bro, just say yeah, then have that out later.
But I don't think that's his personality.
It
Like he's
wasn't.
probably not. He doesn't seem to be quick thinking, and that shit was emasculating for him.
I was just
which-
about to say it already seemed like their relationship was emasculating
Yes.
because people already had these like perceptions of that she'd been taking care of
Yep.
him and she was the leader in
was.
the relationship. I
Yep.
mean, but you can't in front of a room full of people and everybody know
Yeah,
that.
that's what I think too.
Y'all think? Yeah. Well, yeah. I
I think
guess
he feels emasculated, and then for you to do that in front of a group full of people, especially right after you just got clowned by her brother, that was too much for him. So yeah, he already feels inadequate because he doesn't make any money.
Yeah.
Like I've never had that situation, but actually no, I've never had that situation where anybody takes care of me. But my girl makes more money than me, way more. I don't mind though. That don't bother me at all.
I've never had a problem with it. Whenever I date a woman that make more than me,
Yeah.
that's okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
As long as you still coming home to this, I'm straight.
What if it's
For
a
the freedom
significant-
of-
what if it's
woman
a,
freedom movement.
like a significant amount? Though?
It is, bro. It is.
But what you
That would
say,
bother you, Spike? We got
That's significant.
Don't say shit. We revisiting
talk
this
about that
next
later.
week on
Yes.
Is the Mic Salon.
Yes.
I gotta hear this.
Write this down. We'll talk about this later. But yeah, so while digging through their new house, Tim finds a rat or a group of rats in the ceiling. So Spike, what did you think about this part?
Were they merged together? I couldn't tell. They had
Their
been drinking
tails
the
were
water.
tied
Their
together.
tails were tied together. It was interesting, and I'm glad that she asked him how he knew to look for that, and then the story that he gave, which I got questions about. But I thought that was pretty cool, and still was interested in what was going on with him finding that there and what it was going to mean.
I never would have thought to look up there at all. So that shit was weird. But I at this point I was like, damn, is what was in that water starting to seep out into the rest of the community?
Same.
And the rats had ate it. Therefore, at some point, that's how they're going to end up being infected with it as well. Or that's what I thought happened, with the rats. But that
Okay.
was weird.
Rob, what did you think about the little rat swastika?
Yeah, I thought because that came after the dogs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I thought because rats be in sewage and water and shit, they probably got a hold of the same shit and somehow merged the same way. So yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I thought this part was really interesting. They do explain why he was able to find the rats later, but I guess nobody's ever seen this, but this is called a rat king, and this is an actual thing that happens. It's just very rare to where, rats will get in very tight spaces and their tails might end up getting caught up or their hair might end up getting caught up, but it's kind of a thing that some scientists say this is impossible. Then other scientists say, well, no, it does happen. It just doesn't happen a lot, but it's like a phenomenon. It's called Rattenkönig in Germany.
Wow.
But yeah, so the fact that he found that and pulled it out, I'm still not sure if this had anything to do with the water in the cave or if this has more to do with the story that he tells later that we'll get to. So I'm actually not sure about this part. But what did y'all think of Jamie? I'll start with you, Spike.
Who was Jamie?
Jamie
the teacher?
was the friend. Sorry, not the friend, but the other guy at the school.
teacher.
The other teacher.
Creepy guy.
Yeah, he gave. That's, I was just about to say that he gave creep vibes. I couldn't really place my finger on what was going on with him, or if she was just like kind of attracted to him. So that's how they were trying to like portray him to have more like intrigue and stuff to his character. So I couldn't tell if he was just a creep or if she liked him. But I did like the change of pace with his character though. Like it broke away from the monotony of him and her. And just they whole thing battling their relationship. I thought he was interesting when he first popped up on the screen.
I thought they did a really good job with him overall and how they made it seem like he was attracted to her. So, and yeah, I do agree. I think they needed somebody in there. He was creepy. He did seem initially somewhat innocent. And, So yeah, I thought it was interesting having him in it as well, because that's what I thought. I thought, oh yeah, he liked her. Now he's gonna try to push up on her.
You get the same thing?
I mean, I knew he was going to be tied to this whole thing that was going on. Just I don't know. He was that creepy. I was like, something. He's tied to this somehow. And the giveaway for me, I don't know if this happened at this point or not, but when she came to ring his doorbell, he had like a bell, and I was like, I bet that's the same fucking bell that's in the damn cave or whatever.
Yeah, that was way later.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Was it way later? But it wasn't. They hadn't revealed it yet.
No.
Yeah. So, but no, even before that moment, I figured he was tied to it. So I'm going through the whole movie like just thinking, okay, when is it gonna reveal that he's tied to this? So I immediately thought that it didn't. That part, if they were trying to fool me, that it didn't work. Because I always assumed he was a part of it.
Interesting.
I assumed he was evil. I just didn't know how evil, and I couldn't tell if there was flirtation. I wasn't sure what was going on. I thought this was going to end up being like a jealousy thing because he liked his girl or something. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I definitely thought he was fucking weird. But so while on a hike the next day, they fall into a cave, and they decide to stay in there and wait out the storm. But while they're in there, they drink the water, which seems kind of dumb, but because anybody that's ever been on hikes or watched nature shows, you don't drink still water. You can drink running water. So I don't know why you would think going up in a cave drinking some water was a good idea, but they did. But Spike, did you take anything from the story that Tim tells about his father and the smell in the room and how that led into the story about his parents?
I was lost. The story was interesting, and that's what I wanted to hear from y'all in the sense of what did he mean when he was saying it. Because I got the part about the rats and how that triggered him to look for them, and he said he'd been sitting there with cooking flesh or whatever it may be. But I didn't understand the second part about
The parents?
who was dying. Like I missed something.
Oh,
I may have
okay.
pulled out my phone. I don't know what I missed, but I didn't get what that story meant.
Ken, you want to put him on to what he might have missed?
No, because I wasn't thinking about it that deep, honestly. I thought they were just adding stuff in it to make the movie creepy and to prolong the movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Rod, did you get anything from it?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess this ties to the whole overall theme about like because his mother was it's almost like she was willing to live with the husband even in this state or something like that, right? Like she was that connected with him to a degree or whatever. Like she was living with his corpse. So right, and I got that
Yeah,
right.
because she went crazy. Yeah. She snapped.
So yeah, I feel like that's tied to the overall theme anyway. But what you was asking something specific about it? What did you ask?
I was just saying, what did y'all think about the story? Either one of the stories that he told.
What was the other story? I know
The story was about the smell in his room, and then there was a story about him finding his parents.
I know about the smell in his room. That's when he walked in on his mom.
Right.
There
There was a story before that.
That's
Okay.
how
I don't
the
know. I
rat
don't remember
was
that.
in the ceiling. That's how he knew how to find the
That's the
rat
one I
because
couldn't
he had
remember. So what was the?
experience.
What was that story?
He smelled so he didn't smell it. His dad smelled it.
Yeah.
There was a dead rat in the ceiling of his room, and his dad kept saying like, "Why is there this smell? It's disgusting." He was tearing his room apart, and Tim was like, "I don't smell anything. I don't know what you're talking about." And then they end up discovering that there's been a dead rat in the ceiling, and it's just been up here baking because it's close to the light fixture or whatever, I guess. But that begs the question: why didn't Tim smell it? And it's just funny because, if you think about it, if somebody else walks in your house, they'll be like, "Man, it smells in here. What is that?" And you're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." The longer you're around a smell, you don't smell it anymore. You just get used to it.
You become nose blind.
You become a nose blind. That's what it was. Yeah, nose blind. So you don't smell anything when it's in your own house or your own room. But Tim specifically says that when his dad died and his mom didn't get up out of the bed, he smelled it. And when he opened the door, it was so bad that he almost tasted it. And it's like, I think that this goes to a metaphor of like how relationships go, but we'll talk about that later on. But when you're talking about the mother, I think what I took away is that the mother staying in the bed with the dead father shows how Tim views codependency when it comes to relationships, because he keeps having this nightmare of the mom is just sitting there staring at him smiling while his dad's bloated carcass is just laying there. And that kind of goes to what we experience later when it comes to how Tim and Millie interact. So how does that relate to the rat? Well, if you look at the relationship and your relationship is fucked up and it's staying fucked up, but you don't notice it because you've been in it for so long. And then when you separate from it, then you're like, oh yeah, it was kind of fucked up, wasn't it? Ken's not following this shit at all.
I know.
Ken looking at me like I'm out my
No,
fucking
as
mind.
soon as you
He looking
started
at me like
talking,
like his mom was looking at him when he opened the door and found that dead dad.
Yeah, as soon as you start talking, I put it all together. I just wanted to see them fused together. I wasn't even trying to look at them, think about it that deep. I'll just get to the part where they just started merging together. Because at this point, Mike, like, I'm like his wife or his girlfriend. I'm like, bro, you are sorry as fucking hell.
Damn.
Bro, like, what the fuck are you doing? It's raining as hell and you want to stay in a cave. You don't know how to build a fucking fire at all. She had to do that shit. He was dependent on her. He is sorry as shit.
You can't use a
And then
compass.
a compass, and your idea is like, oh, we're just gonna stay here in this cave overnight to sleep instead of climbing out, going back to the house where it's dry. Man, bro, you're dumb ass, bro.
Damn. Well, while they're in the cave, they wake up, and after getting their leg unstuck, they go back to the house, and Tim gives Millie a massage. Rod, what did you think about this massage?
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy. I was just waiting for the moment that the fingers kind of started going deeper to her back. But nah, that was good. The intensity of that was good because he kind of like was like not passed out, but you know what I'm saying, just kind of wasn't aware of what he was doing or whatever. So at first she was just like, oh, okay, shit, you know. And just like, wait a minute, ow, this fucking hurting or whatever. But no, yeah, I thought even before that, with the whole leg shit, I thought the graphics on that shit was really good when they separated at the legs. I was like, oh, okay, here we go, we get into the shits. Kind of like what Ken's saying, let's just get to it or whatever. But no, I thought that was an interesting part. I didn't really look too much more into it.
I was really trying to figure out how the hell they're gonna do and tell this whole story, and maybe it happened quicker for the dolls because they were smaller, because I'm like, man, that shit was overnight with the dolls. At least I thought it was, and with them, it's taking a little bit longer. So that was one thought, but yeah, seeing this was actually dope. The thing I was thinking about was like, okay, we saw that there was like a scar on the legs, and that shit didn't even happen. Like, did y'all just forget y'all legs were fused together? Did y'all not even see all the damn open wounds, and y'all not gonna talk about that shit? Like, what the fuck?
What did he say he thought it was?
Mildew.
Like,
Well, he's a sorry piece of shit, so he
Damn.
wouldn't know. Like, he would. He's Mike. He said, "I wouldn't know what mildew is."
right, I don't even know what mildew is.
He said
I
it.
was like, what?
Like anybody in a smart mind know. Well, never mind.
Damn, bro.
But either way I go, yeah. So again, just me thinking too hard. But I'm like, bro, shit look like it hurt, Rod.
It did.
So I don't know why y'all act like y'all leg ain't sore the rest of the movie.
Right.
What did you get from it, Spike? The massage.
I was like, then, like, okay, now they finna get to it. I thought it was going just from there, but it was. I found it interesting how they were able to prolong this story when we knew what was coming. Like, we knew what was going to happen. So that is one of the bright spots of the movie for me, because I was like, how long are they gonna be able to just like stretch
Ride
this
this
out?
out,
Yeah,
you know?
know what's coming.
I mean, so what I was seeing was that I at first thought he was going to choke her, but then when he kept doing it and doing like this, once I've now watched the movie, I think it's like he was trying to already go ahead and fuse with her, but it just wasn't time yet. But he was trying to fucking put his fingers, no, don't be dirty, but like into her while he's doing this massage. And I was like, this is actually really weird, which leads to the next scene, which is the shower scene, where she's driving away and he's in the shower. So Ken, what did you take from that?
That shit was dope. But now you can start to see like the effects of the water starting to kind of build in their system, and he was connected to her, and that the twists and turns that she was doing, he was doing as well. And I thought that she was going to have to turn back, but it showed that at this point it's just one sided. Or maybe the whole movie was one sided. Like, he was dependent on her, throughout. I mean, shit, even before they got drank the water. But yeah, that whole shit was crazy, because I'm like, how the fuck? Like, how? Then now I'm wondering, like, how the fuck is this going to be long lasting? Is it just one event? Like, as time goes on, will he become more and more dependent on her to where they can't be separated at all without him experiencing some type of physical and mental pain? But yeah, that shit was dope. And she just nonchalant, just whipping it, just not knowing what's going on. So yeah, poor guy.
What did you get, Spike?
Well, that's what confused me about it. What Ken said, I didn't realize, and maybe it comes to what you said, the overarching theme of the movie. I didn't realize it was only affecting him at first. Like, when she was driving and shit, I was confused as to why, like, both of them drunk the water. So why isn't she feeling this trance that he's feeling while he's in the shower and going through the exact same emotions as her? So I was confused.
It was a one-sided relationship.
Is that what you got, Rod?
What, one-sided relationship?
Or any of that? What did you get from the scene?
I just thought it was dope. I just thought it was dope how they did it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, again, we're getting more into them connecting. Like I said, the effects, him moving around, like even like when it was pressing his head against the shower and it was cracking. I was just like, damn, this is. I was just ready to see more. I was ready to see where this story was about to go. I didn't really think too much into it at this point.
Damn.
What, you did?
Well, this is definitely. Well, I was picking up on the one-sided aspect of the relationships prior to this, but when this was happening, I was like, oh, so it is affecting him in a different way than it's affecting her, because she's the dominant one in the relationship. That's why it's most of the time throughout this movie, it's him trying to fuse with her, hence the massage. And then we get to this part. It's him trying to go into her as opposed to her trying to go into him. So when she's driving away and he's, flinging around, I was like, oh, it's because he can't be separate from her. She can still be separate from him and be fine. He's the one that's having the problem here. So there's this idea of whoever is the dominant one in the relationship that's the one that's going to have fewer problems. So when you're talking about the dogs earlier, that's that's why I thought you picked up on that, because you were saying one of the dogs was scared and the other one wasn't. One of the dogs, I mean,
the
obviously
dominant
with
dog.
dogs, there's one that's always dominant. The dominant one was the one that was, kind of being absorbed into, So yeah, this is when I was really like, this movie is fucking interesting. But again, I was just like, but there's a fucking message. Just like, come on, bro. Can't we just, can't a motherfucker just fuse into another body and let's just,
That's how I was trying to watch it, Mike. There you go.
Yeah.
But
I think
it's
it makes
dope.
the movie make more sense.
It
I think if
does.
I just looked at it surface level, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But once I realize there's a message, it does annoy me. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I get what y'all are going for.
And it really helps explain the gaps in between, like them drinking the water and them fusing ultimately.
Yes.
Like if
Yes.
there's a story to get to that, so
Yeah.
it makes the movie make more sense. Like I wanted to just do the one thing, but it's like we got a bigger message here that we're trying to convey.
So what did you think, Spike, about the dinner they had with Jamie? When he came over and they were at the table and
It started to come out as far as how negatively both of them felt about their relationships. I hate when couples do this when they're in front of you and they start airing out their grievances and you're kind of like, oh, what am I supposed to do here? And he excused himself, but he still, I couldn't really pinpoint why Jamie was weird here. I still didn't peg him like Rod did as like, oh, he's the bad guy, the villain. But I like the whole interaction. I'm still interested at this point, especially with how they start bickering back and forth and how he responded to it, which added to the stuff later in the movie about him semi-recruiting her.
I think here for me they did a good job of kind of just throwing me off the scent, of the trail. Because even when he closed the door, he was like, "Oh, I think he likes you." Because that's what I'm thinking. Like the first interaction, this whole interaction, seeing how he's looking at her and his jealousy because he's seeing that too. I'm not even thinking that there's a larger play in mind for him. I'm thinking like, oh shit, he's really trying to get at her. And he's picking up on that and he's jealous of that. So he's trying to he's like, no, I got the wine. I'll pour this shit. And because he's thought that he was interested in her, that's when his maybe resentment or inadequacies start to display when he started to take a shot at her and she took a shot. And when they start taking a shot at each other, but I'm with you. That shit was awkward as hell. Like, but I'm kind of with her. Like, bro, I don't think not having a driver's license isn't that bad, but that shit was.
no, that's weird.
It's like you can't even take yourself to the train
Yeah,
station.
but weren't they from the city though, right?
Yeah, he was like, ain't no need for me to have a license.
Well, when she didn't have to say he only had a learner's permit.
Yes, she
That was
did.
foul as hell. Though.
She said you're 30 with a learner's permit. That was what
But it was interesting. The line she was like, "Yeah, I can't leave the house without you," or something she said.
were we supposed to pick up that he recruited her to come there? Because she was like, I read your resume and I was very interested in you coming here when they first met. So
I didn't
was this
pick
a
up on that.
long-term play? Like, was he recruiting her to be a part of this?
Nah, because
I
he
don't
would have had
think
to
so,
know
maybe.
that they had issues.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, he would have to know that before the fact.
Yeah. Rod, did you get anything else other than what they said about from the dinner?
And I don't really I don't even remember how we got here. How did we get?
He showed up. Jamie showed up at the house.
Bottle of wine.
And he was bringing them some housewarming, and then she was like, "No, come in. I insist. You come hang out for a bit."
Yeah.
But yeah, the only thing I took from this was when he specifically said, "It sounds like you complete each other," which that was another little hint about what was about to happen. But I feel like they should have left that out because I thought that Jamie was creepy, but I didn't think that he was a part of whatever was happening with the water. Then when he said that, it was like, oh, y'all are really just like telling us every fucking thing at this point.
But weren't they kind of playing around with that sort of word throughout the whole show, throughout the whole movie? Complete each other
Yes.
together.
They do that later, though. This is like the beginning of where they start throwing that out there. Like,
Okay.
you complete each other. And it was like, I was like, all right, well, I'm still enjoying it, but look, so after Jamie leaves, Tim feels drawn to Millie and they start making out. And during a makeout sesh, their lips become fused for a second, But this leads to them having another argument about their feelings. So, Spike, how do you feel about how Millie is processing what Tim's saying about, like, he thinks it's something to do with the cave and he's feeling off? How do you feel about how she took that?
It lines up for what they had presented to us throughout the movie. Like she wasn't validating his feelings and being kind of dismissive of him having a thought that could be correct. It was like, well, she didn't overtly say this, but it's like, you're kind of a wild, outside of the box, free spirit musician, and here's another one of your wild ideas that this is happening. She's a more logical, this is common sense, let's go to the doctor type of person. So when he explaining it to her that he thinks something is wrong from it, it made sense based on everything that the movie had put together that she would be dismissive of it.
You feel the same way, Rob?
Yeah, it's about the same. I was definitely going to use the same word, dismissive. That's how she came off. I mean, that circles back around later about, you know, her apologizing. But yeah, that's pretty much the same.
You get anything different, Ken?
I just thought it was funny when she was like, if you don't want to fuck me, then just... I was like, God damn, bro.
See, that's the line that jumped out at me, and I was waiting for y'all to get to. I think that this was a very important thing that she said. Now, you got to think about it. What if this was gender swapped? What if the man and the woman were fighting, and the woman was saying, I feel like I'm off, I feel like there's something going on, and the man was like, if you don't want to fuck me, just say it. I think the connotation would be completely different.
In what way?
Because if a man said it, we'd look at that man like he's an absolute piece of shit. But if the woman is saying it, we'd be like, oh, she's not getting fucked. That's sad. But I found that interesting given what we've gotten so far from the story. We already had a gender swapped situation earlier with the proposal. And they're just pushing it home that she is the dominant one. And when she's not getting what she wants, she does not like it. She is unhappy. But when she said that, I was like, wow, that's fucked up.
Interesting.
Because we don't know why he doesn't want to have sex with her. I think Alison Brie is a pretty girl. If he's not wanting to fuck her, what's going on?
Well, they alluded to it in the beginning, right?
Yes,
And
but it has to
because
do
you had
with
the bad dreams and stuff. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
So you would think if we know, and she knows that he has these nightmares, he's grieving, she wouldn't say something like that. But who would? From what we've seen in Hollywood so far, a piece of shit man would say that. So I thought it was interesting that they have the woman being in that role.
So she's a piece of shit woman?
I took it that way, absolutely. I was like, that's fucked up. That this dude is grieving and he's clearly already told you that something feels off with him and you go to sex. That's fucked up.
She been wanting it for a minute.
She has.
It was fucked up. But I knew as soon as he started talking, I was like, nah, bro. I already know what she about to tell you.
That was foul. So they're not having sex, but he does eat her a little bit. So what did y'all think when he was eating her hair in the bed?
Oh my god,
Bro, I was like, where was that in the movie?
oh, man. That was disturbing. Like
Yeah.
that.
I'm glad that wasn't in the trailer.
That shit was tight.
I would, if I was her, I would have left in. Like, I don't know what you got to figure out. Like, something's wrong, and he just told you something was wrong, and he's feeling off, and you wake up and this guy got his hair halfway down his throat, and he about to strangle himself with it. Like, nah, you can leave.
So you just leave.
You
huh?
like she said, you can leave. Like, you don't even need to be here.
I think at that point, I mean, it's a movie, but I think at that point, she should have probably woken up a little bit more because that shit was weird. Like, okay, why is this happening? What was happening? You said some shit was going on with the cave, and now you're sitting here eating my hair against your will somehow, some way. So, yeah, for her to be pragmatic and the logical one, she should have started at least connected some dots. But, their relationship is fractured, so she's probably not even thinking about that. It's just like this motherfucker just trying to eat my hair. But that shit, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen some shit like that before. That shit was like crazy, bro. I'm like, that's a lot of hair. I don't.
It was too.
Like, how did he get all
He's
that?
at it
done,
all
man?
night, huh?
Yeah, right.
He was at it all night. But no, that shit was creepy as hell. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, some of the shit was disturbing. or whatever. And that was definitely one of the moments where she's like, "Oh, you laying on my hair or whatever," and she turned over. He's like, "Oh, the motherfucker, this shit is in your
Deep though. Your hair.
right deep through my hair."
Got it all.
But right. Right. I know he emasculated for real. God damn. Like, that's a whole other level
Eat
of
that
emasculation. That's a whole other level right there.
Did she
boy.
suggest going to the doctor after that?
I don't.
At the table when they was talking the next morning?
I don't remember when she tells him to go see a therapist. That might have been after this or before this. I can't remember. But yeah, she does because he's acting like a fucking creep. But yeah, I like that scene too. But this next scene was what was wild to me. And I'll get to my positives and negatives of the scene. But Millie takes Tim to the bus stop so he can go play some music with her brother's band because I think they like asked him to go on tour or something. But Tim can't seem to make himself leave. And he ends up stumbling back to Millie's job, which leads to a very awkward sex scene in the school bathroom. Rod, what did you think of this scene?
In the bathroom stall. That's what you're talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to think what happened. Yeah. That's when they were trying to pull each other apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. But that made me, you know what that oddly made me think of? When dolls get stuck.
Two dolls get stuck.
Yep,
Yeah.
when two dolls get stuck. I was like, I wonder if they were tying that together somehow. But that's what it immediately made me think of, like the dogs early on and how they get stuck, and everything. So, but nah, yeah, that was fucking crazy. I was like, God damn! And then they showed it and shit. But nah, I'm trying to think that anything else happened outside of that moment. But yeah, that's all I had really thought about it, honestly.
Okay. Spike, did you get anything else from that? Or were you just like cringing at the fact that his dick was stretching?
I was cringing at that. And it was obvious what was about to happen. Like, in my opinion. I think that she had finally got what she wanted as far as getting laid. And then as soon as they got into it, I said, I see what's about to happen here. So, but it didn't take away from it. It was still like shock value was still there.
Be careful what you wish for. You know, like, yeah, she got what she absolutely wanted. I still don't know why at this point she didn't think to like say, hey, you probably should go get like what's going on, the cave and shit like that. Like we just got stuck together, fused together. That shit just ain't natural.
Right.
You know, and she tried to explain it. You know, she was like, well, shit, you ain't dishing in a while, so that's probably what happened.
I thought this is where the creepy dude was going to play into it because I thought he was going to walk in, and I thought that was going to be like his role in the movie too.
Yep.
And he was going to be jealous of that, and then they would go through this whole thing.
Yeah. I did too, especially when he saw the leg, you know, the shoe, and I was like, oh man, yeah, he's probably going to fire her and stuff like that. But you know, this so I had two black folks next to me that talked the whole movie. Right, bro. And all I heard was, man, I ain't never seen no shit like that, bro. I was like, oh my God. I couldn't even enjoy the movie, bro. Like,
you said the ER in your head.
man, bro.
The hard
ER. I would.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, they're not going to do it. Are they going to do it? Damn, how they going to get apart? Like all this, like this shit was.
And then the kid was outside the bath.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, with the kid outside.
Oh man, he was like, I can't. I'm stuck. And then that shit looked like it hurt. God damn.
I was wondering why she was bleeding.
It might not have been her blood.
Yeah, I don't. I wasn't thinking it was hers, but remember in the cave, like the skin ripped off. So, and you know, it could have been like it could have ripped some skin off her and him.
I thought she ripped his dick off.
No,
I did.
Because the way he was looking, he was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, definitely some forehead skin though.
Forehead skin?
And then what they call it?
No,
Foreskin.
it's called foreskin.
Whatever.
This dude. What the fuck is bro? We moving on, man. Anyway,
Appreciate the correction, Mike. He's
He's like, you know what I meant.
the set saying, bro.
But no, I liked all of this too. I liked the fact that he could not live without her. So the thought of him leaving, he was just like, I can't do it. But yeah, the whole ripping of the dick scene, I thought this was interesting because They're both trying to separate. She's blaming him, which I found to be interesting. And then she can tell that it's hurting him. It seems like it's hurting him more than it's hurting her. So she puts her fucking hand over his mouth and says, I forgot what she said to him. Something like, shush, or I'm sorry, or something.
It was like,
And
I'm
then
sorry. It was like an apology before it happened.
Yeah, and then she forcefully shoves him out, and you can tell he is in immense pain. But again, this goes to the dominance of the relationship. She does this without getting his clear consent of like, yes, just do it fast. None of that. She's just like, I'm going to take charge, and I know it's going to hurt you, but too bad. And she does it anyway. But Jamie coming in, I thought that was really interesting because like y'all, I was like, oh, this is when Jamie gets involved in the relationship. Instead, he sees the foot and he just leaves. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is Jamie's play? Because this is weird.
I thought he was going to use it as leverage against her later.
I did too, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is not making sense what this dude is doing. But they have a really big argument after where she tells him she's not his fucking mother, and he says, what does that mean? And she says, like she's living with something dead, which I was like, God,
That's bruh.
damn, that was a bar and a fucked up bar.
Women go low, boy, when they
Oh,
argue.
yeah.
When they argue, they go to hell.
Yeah. But it also calls to her dominance. She's saying, I'm not your fucking mother. And then you look at how the mother situation played out. Like the mom, when the dude died, she stayed in the bed and she could not leave.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not her. I'd have left your ass because I don't care about you the way she cared about your dad. But there was a conversation that she has because she has to go to Jamie's place. So there's a conversation they have there. What did you think about that conversation? Do you remember? Mm-mm. Do you remember the conversation they had there?
The one about the Plato?
Plato,
Plato,
yes.
yeah, Plato. Yeah. No, I do remember about humans being separated.
Yep.
Later on, that was a theory that he had, is that they were together, and then later on they became separate.
Who said this?
This was Jamie. And this was like a big part of the movie because it's
When she went
explained-
over there after they got done arguing, she was sitting there talking
Yes.
to him. Yeah,
She
something
goes
went
to his
over my
house
head,
because
yeah.
she's sad. And he starts talking about Plato and how he had this idea that the original human had 2 heads, 4 arms, and
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
right?
Yeah.
Something
2
like
heads,
that.
4 arms, and I guess that'd be 8 legs. 1, 2, 3. No. What is it?
He said 4 legs, 4 arms.
It'll be 4 of
2 heads.
everything.
Yes, that's right. Jesus Christ. what's
So
wrong
at this
with me?
point, y'all know he's a part of it.
At this part, yes,
I just thought
because
it was
he's,
crazy
he's,
at this point.
he's talking about because they had mentioned that where they found that cave, it was originally like a church. Mm-hmm. So when he starts talking about Plato and having, Zeus came in and said, y'all are too powerful as this thing with 2 heads and 4 arms and 4 legs. So he splits them in 2. And then he says, that's why we spend all of our time trying to find a soulmate.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. But he also said that he used to have a husband, but he left him and then realized he couldn't live without him, so he came back. And I missed this the first time until I went back to do the notes. Did y'all catch that he was wearing 2 wedding rings?
I
I
saw
saw
it.
the ring and it looked weird, but I couldn't tell
I didn't
why.
catch it until you just said it.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Damn.
like, it looked really weird. I was like, that's a funny kind of ring. I thought it was something to do, because when he said it was a cult, I thought it was something to do with the cult.
Something with the cult.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I missed it the first time because it shocked me when we get to that part later. But when I went back the second time to do I was like, wait, why did y'all shouldn't have put that in there, because that kind of gave away what was going on. But maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. But so after Millie kind of attempts to like stick to him while he's in his office, but then she kind of just like plays it off as a seizure. But Tim attempts to explain how he's felt off from the cave situation and how they're drawn to each other. But Millie dismisses it again. And then she tells him, I don't want you. So they sleep in different rooms, but in the middle of the night, Rob, they're drawn to each other once again. So what did you think about this scene?
No, again, this is another dope effect on how they were trying to, reconnect through the doors. He was what was he doing? I remember her because she back bend to some shit. Some crazy
He was on his
shit.
back like somebody was dragging his
Yeah.
back.
That's right. Yeah,
fingers and
his
toes
fingers
were
and
just
stuff was
dragging him
like,
across the
oh yeah, it
floor.
was breaking, and he was trying to pull himself. This is what we saw in the trailer. So and it still hit even in this. Even though I saw it in the trailer, it still hit just as
Yeah.
hard in the movie. So I thought that was seriously dope. How they were slowly trying to connect them and merge. So I really enjoyed this. Again, creepy, but I enjoyed it.
What about you, Spike?
Yeah, this is real creepy. It was a very interesting like scene as far as the pop of the movie because I didn't see the trailer, but it made me wonder like why wouldn't like I wondered was there a physical sickness to go to it as well? Like if they just left each other alone, would they still feel that pull? Like how close in vicinity he would.
Yeah.
I was wondering how close in vicinity they had to be to almost attract each other like magnets like it. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see this part in the trailer. There was one part I did see in the trailer. Whenever this thing would pop up, I would intentionally just put my head down and be on my phone so I wouldn't see shit. But this was dope because I thought at this point we're in the movie, and I thought from here on they're going to be fused together for the rest of the movie. So I didn't see how it was going to play out. So it played out a lot differently than I thought, which still worked. But yeah, this shit was dope. Him sliding across the floor and all the physical contortions and stuff that they were doing, and then their arms kind of merging together and stuff like that. I was like, but I did think about the drugs because I thought the
muscle
that was
relax,
it.
yeah.
The muscle relaxers. That was as the movie was going on. I was like, well, why is it taking so long? He did go to the doctor. I was like, I think the muscle relaxers are slowing down the process. And this was confirmation for me when it happened. He was like, oh, you got to get the muscle relaxers. And he did it, and they just started snorting all that
Like,
shit.
you got to snort it to get to the stream faster.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
Yeah, all that shit. That shit was dope.
Did you already go?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah. I really liked this scene. I thought it was super creative how they did it with him sleeping and his body still was moving along. Because he said prior to that, he said something like when the body shuts down, the mind can keep, or when the, I got it backwards. I think he said when your mind shuts down, the body can keep going.
It seemed like that
He
was
said-
the other way around, but I don't know.
I don't remember. He said something like that. But either way, I thought this scene was really dope. But in the next scene, she has to saw their arms to separate themselves. And then she decides that they're going to go to the doctor. But she left her keys at Jamie's place. And when she gets there, she sees a tape of Jamie and her husband's fusing ritual. And then we see that he's there. So, Spike, what did you think about all that went down at Jamie's place?
It's also where you see the bell.
Yeah, that bell came. This was weird. This was when I was like, okay, this took a turn from interesting to like, what's happening right now? Because his door was wide open, right? Like she just walked in his crib.
I think she opened
Yeah,
the
the
Yeah, it's a
TV
small town.
The
They
TV
leave
was
doors
playing
open
in the
a
back.
lot.
Like, was this a trap? Did he know she was gonna leave her keys? Did he take her keys? Like, it just felt way too convenient.
It's not. It sounded like he took the keys on purpose
Okay.
because that's what he said. He said, "I'll keep these safe" or something like that.
And when he expects her to come back, that's why he got the tape playing, and he wants to convince her to go on through with the ritual. Okay, now that makes more sense because it seemed like it just came off as way too convenient for me. Maybe because I was half paying attention.
No, I'm with you, Spike, and
Yeah.
I was paying deep attention.
Okay.
This is my least favorite scene of the entire movie.
Got it. Okay.
I thought this was stupid
Yes.
because even if it was a trap and he took the keys in hopes that she would come, how would he know when she was coming to hit play on
Have
the tape?
TV playing.
So I was like, this is a really bad horror movie trope where she just happened to walk in the door and it just so happens that it's on the right part of the tape. I don't know why they did this because outside of this part, I think everything else was fitting very well.
Yes. Okay. So I'm not crazy.
You're not
because that's
crazy.
exactly what I was. I was like, they were doing great up until this point. Then this seemed like it was almost out of another movie.
It did.
Yeah,
It did.
Yeah. Because I mean, like when she walked to his house the first time, I was looking for that symbol in the house, all over the house. I'm looking at the house. I never saw it. And when she went back, of course, it was on the bell. So that was just confirmation. But so yeah, I was confused about everything that he was doing and how. Because how would you have intentionally given her or them the water for this to happen? How did she? I think he knew that they were having issues or something like that, but his motives, everything. Well, I think his motives was clear, but how did you pick them? So there were questions I had with that, but even in spite of all that, just how they even got there, using the cutting the arm and shit, that shit was fucking crazy. This is the part I did see in the trailer. She was like, "Look at how I go for the pain." I did see that part in the trailer, shit like that. But
So he set that trap for them to fall down in the hole.
no, they fell down by themselves. Remember, he's a bungling idiot, so they were just that was an accident.
I think Jamie only figured out that he was going to pick them once he had that dinner with him, and he saw that they
There you
both had pieces, but they were both very connected to each other. That's why he asked her later on something like, "Well, you do love him, right?" And she's like, "Of course." So he sees that they each have individual parts, but they're way better connected. And he says, "Y'all are like," I forgot the exact words now, but he says something along the lines of, "Y'all are clearly made for each other," or something like that.
Yes, thank you for adding that because that
And
completes it now.
from that dinner and them telling the story about getting lost out there in the woods, he clearly understood that they had drank in the water already.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
Okay.
that
makes sense.
Yeah, I haven't thought about all that since the movie, but yeah, okay, cool.
He said you complete each other.
Yeah. So, but nah, I mean, he just you knew he was in the room and all the other shit, and then the ring to cut her arm and stuff like that. So
I didn't expect that.
the ring part to cut her arm,
No.
I didn't know how he was gonna. No, I didn't know it was on the ring. No, but I
didn't
was
expect him to cut
wondering
her at all. I was just like, what?
Why?
because their arms were cut
Whose
in
arms were-
the videotape.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they had
Oh, I
cut
missed
their
that.
arms.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because I know he said, "Let's hurry this along," and then he cut her. I didn't catch that they were cut in the video.
It's like a pat, blood pat, probably.
So, Rod, did you notice anything when she punched him in his face?
Is that was that revealed that he was both at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because at first when I saw the tape, because that's the only thing I didn't know. I didn't know. I knew he was a part of this whole thing. I just didn't know in what capacity. I didn't know he had already gone through the process of merging with his partner or whatever. But no, yeah, I thought that was crazy. His voice changed too. Then it got distorted, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Because they kind of separated for a hot second. But did y'all notice anything with the pictures? Remember that they showed the picture twice of him and his partner. Did you notice that the final version looked more like him than it did the partner?
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, you talking about like it looked like Jamie?
Yeah, like the picture.
Yeah.
When you see a picture, you see Jamie and then you see the partner. But then when you see Jamie now, you can tell that like
He was the more dominant
He was
one?
the more dominant.
Oh,
one.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I found that to be very interesting. When she punched him and they separated, you can see bits of the other guy, and then the voice was a little bit different.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch it.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was a lot here, but I mean, this scene was the only part where I was like, "This is stupid. Why would you just have the tape playing? Like, come on, dog."
You see, I just looked at it as a horror movie trope.
Yeah,
it's
but
always
this
something
was-
like that playing. They
This
did
felt
it.
too smart for that. You know what I mean? Like it
I
felt
feel
too
that.
smart for something that lame, like
Yeah.
that convenient. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless it's something that he always watches.
Yeah, he just
I don't know.
plays it over and over
right.
again.
Yeah, I can see some lunatic doing that shit. Like every night he comes home and plays the tape.
Because he did say earlier, I got a tape of our wedding and I want to show it to you. So I think to Spike's point, that was him trying to pull her in earlier. But just she's going to be coming at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep starting this tape over again. And that was kind of dumb. So Tim goes back to the cave to figure out what's going on, even though she told him not to. But he finds a bunch of symbols and iconography, but he also finds a fused person down there. Spike, what did you think about that?
I was about to ask, but that just makes sense because I just got it. That was the couple that they were looking for, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause he had the pink
got it.
hair and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. I was wondering where that came from, but now that I just thought about it when you were saying that was the couple that they were looking for. So that was all I got from it.
Well, we also they had to, well, they didn't have to, but I felt like in this movie at some point they were going to reveal the couple. And that was the one thing we didn't have an answer to.
Yeah.
So it made sense for them to still be there and fused together because it looked like they rejected.
That's okay. That's what I was
Yeah.
confused about, like how they stayed in that form, but we had the other for him at the end of the movie.
And they were asking him to kill him. Help us.
Help us. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, because he's specifically, Jamie says in the prior scene, he says, it's already started, and
might
you're
as well
not going to
submit.
like the alternative. And that's when it cuts to Jamie
Yep.
seeing the fake ass substance creature. What I took also is what Ken took, that they didn't follow the rules. They weren't as compatible as Jamie. I'm sorry, not Jamie, but as Tim and Millie. Or there wasn't a clear dominant one in the relationship. So they just didn't work. Is that what you got, Rod? Did you get something different?
Yeah, I got it. The same thing that they were rejecting, the inevitable of it happening, and plus that it probably just wasn't as compatible, and they were like I said, that's why they were trying to constantly fight it. But I'll get more of my take on that once we get further on.
The final scene. So back at the house, Tim and Millie are drawn to each other again, and Tim decides that the only way to stop it is to kill himself. But seeing the wound in Millie's arm from what Jamie did with the knife, or with the ring or whatever, makes him decide to fuse himself to her in order to stop the bleeding and to stop her from dying. And after having a discussion about how much they mean to each other and how they don't want to let each other go, they decide to willingly fuse with each other. While one of the best songs ever written was playing in the background. My fucking jam, To Become One. That's my jam, bruh. So, Spike, what'd you think of this final fusing?
I was like, they stretched it out, pun intended, long enough for this to finally be happening, and I want to see what was going to happen from there. Because my thought process at that point, okay, what's the end result of this? So
I love they didn't take sometimes a movie would just give us a alternate ending. I love that they fused together. So when this happened, I was like, it's dope that they're doing it. We get a chance to see them merge together, and he's just not gonna kill himself, and she's gonna go off and be happily ever after. I ain't trying to see all that shit.
Yeah.
Nah, show us the shit. That's what we want to see. And they kind of played around with this the whole fucking movie. Now we got a chance to see it, and I thought that shit was dope. And because especially when, even before the fusion, like his arm, like, bro, you really want to live like that the rest of your life? Bro, like, all right, I love you, salute, but trying to put my arm in your arm just so you can live. But he was committed at that point. But it's just like, how do you live? You can't even go out in public.
But he knew he couldn't live without her anyway.
Yeah, but where you going to go? How you going to get food? How you going to go shopping?
He don't need none of that. All he needs is her.
You're going to have to do that Amazon Prime Air shit to get shit. Or Jamie going to have to come over and bring shit.
Who?
Jamie.
I thought you said Jalen.
Nah, Jamie had to come over and bring food. Anyway, but that's just me just thinking shit that don't matter to the movie. I was just happy to see this part. I thought this shit
I was the same way. I didn't know if I was gonna be on the island with that. For some reason, it made me happy to see that they actually merged and became one, or whatever. And it kind of, it makes the whole like disturbing shit make more sense. And I was just like, damn, that's actually fucking dope when you think about it in a relationship terms. You take away all the gross shit that was happening, and you think about it just from a relationship aspect, how you feel like you can't live with somebody, the marriage and all that. You feel like you become one. You already come that in a metaphorical sense. So now you just come in that in a physical sense. So I thought that was just like a really good way of showing that. I was like, wow, that actually makes a lot of fucking sense. Like that's how I left. And because you can still hear like the murmurs in the room and people just be like, oh, that shit was fuck. But then when I guarantee when they think about it, it's like, oh shit, I guess that do kind of make sense. You know what I'm saying? Can't live with somebody. I'm willing to die for you. All of these things. We say like I don't know if y'all do, but people have said these things over the years in their relationships. You feel like that. You get sick when you can't be with somebody sometimes. Sometimes it's like you really go through these motions. So I was just like, yo, this is a really dope way of telling that or whatever. So that really sold me on the movie after that. That scene really sold me. And that scene and this final one when the parents come, I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I really enjoyed that. And going back to the people that couldn't connect, they obviously didn't have that type of connection. Right. So that's why I think they ended up the way they ended up. And if you just accept it, like, okay, you actually, you might think your ass look kind of good in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting. It was dope.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. When they now again, unfortunately, this is in the trailer. I really wish it wasn't, but them actually fusing was in the trailer. So I knew it would-
I didn't see
I'm
that
just-
part. I didn't see the fusing part. I
well,
just saw the eyelid thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
The
okay. okay,
eyelids
yeah,
fusing
yeah.
was in the trailer, and it's even on the poster. I think.
Yeah,
So-
it is the poster. The eyes. Yeah.
Man, it's just the poster. Because they might do a poster of a scene that's not in the film, but the fact that it was in the trailer, I was like, oh, so they're gonna fuse at some point, or somebody's gonna fuse and show their eyelids. And when we hadn't seen anybody do with their eyes yet, I was like, oh, it's gonna be them.
Got you.
But I still think it was a beautifully filmed scene, and it was oddly a nice ending because you realize that they don't want to live separately. They don't want to live without each other. So they fused together. And I think the way that they did this was so fucking good looking. The way that they, the special effects or whatever were super, super, super dope.
Yeah.
And I didn't know until after that they were a real couple. Because at first I was like, man, nah, if my girl got titties like that, she can't be pressed up against no motherfucker in a movie. I'm not watching this shit, or I'm skipping over this scene because that motherfucker looked way too happy to be fusing with my girl.
Yeah, I didn't know she had a body like that.
Oh, you never saw Horse Girl? No, I'm not trying to sexualize her, but yeah, if you saw Horse Girl, is when I realized just how much of an incredible actress she is.
Horse girl.
Yes,
That's great.
she was. It was on one of my favorite movie lists for one of these that we did, but. I knew her from Community, but I didn't watch all of Community. But when I saw Horse Girl, that was like her foray into like sci-fi horror.
Got you.
And she's so good in it. But there is a scene, again, not trying to sexualize her, but there is a scene where she's
Wait,
completely
she looks
naked.
good. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying she looks good. I'm not trying to
She is
sexualize
cute.
her.
That was part of Community, though. Where like she's this nerd, but then they realize, she's got a body on her. This is crazy.
Oh, okay. See, I ain't even know.
Yeah.
I
But
ain't
no,
even know.
she is a really fucking good actress. So if anybody has not seen Horse Girl, please go watch it. It's fucking great. But yeah, now this leads to the final scene of the movie. The parents show up and knock on the door, and now they have a bell with the little symbol on it. So Ken, what did you think of? I don't even know how to say it. Like the person that answered the door. What did you think of that person?
I completely forgot the parents were coming.
I did too.
And I'm like, and I really wanted to see the rest of their reaction.
Me too.
Oh man, because I was just because I was like, okay, they're gonna like. I really wanted to see what the finished product looked like. So when I saw it, and it was like basically both of them. It looked different than Jamie because it looked like both of them was in one body, whereas Jamie looked like he was completely in control. So I guess are we to kind of assume that they're kind of
Mutually compatible.
Yeah.
more than Jamie, where he was like this more dominant one. But no, that shit was dope, and just to see how they looked, when they answered the door, and now like questions going through my head, so like, what does the rest of their life look like? Shopping, how do they talk to each other? Is there gonna be any type of intimacy later on? Like how do two people live in one body? So yeah, all that shit was like going through my head. But
And do they have all the parts?
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I just kept assuming that it's whoever the dominant one was, but
But it was kind of her, right?
it was it was her. But this one looked more fairly split than Jamie and his partner, whereas Jamie and his partner seemed to be more Jamie. This one seemed, I guess there was still more Millie, but it seemed more even. Like, this person looked extremely androgynous. So when they answered the door, I was like, oh, shit.
Right.
Because I think for a second, I forgot that they did that. I forgot that they fused and they
Yeah, I
become
did too.
one
I forgot
person.
too.
I thought it was going to be that monster that they had
That's what I thought.
that had fused into in the scene prior. So when the androgynous person answered the door, I was like, oh, that's good.
It's really good.
That's good.
I was like, that's fucking good. Would y'all be interested in a sequel because of that?
Nah, I think this is a perfect one and done.
Yeah, I think that was a great way to end it because I did get lost in the whole thing when we talked about her going to the house, but I was super interested when the parents' car pulled up and to see what was on the other side of their door. And I said the same thing that you said when they opened the door. Like, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see their reaction too, like you said, because it looked like her, but your mom and dad are probably the two people on earth be like,
Yeah, that's
"So
not my daughter. What
you
fuck?
do different?"
And the voice was
Yeah,
different. I don't know,
exactly.
the voice was like his voice.
Yeah, like it sounded like a little deeper. So
How do you explain that shit?
you can't. You can't. That's
we
what
drank
made it
some
so
water
good.
and we ended up fused together.
Man,
Man, if you don't bring my
people gonna
daughter
think you
back,
crazy, right? People gonna think you
spit that water
insane,
out.
right?
fuck wrong with you? Nah, man, this ending was perfect.
That was a good
It
ending.
was perfect.
It was a good ending.
perfect ending when they opened the door and the person was like, "What's up, guys?" I was like,
Hey
"What?"
guys, like wait,
Oh man, but yeah, I just realized I left a part out that I thought this was an interesting line that she said earlier. But she said when they were arguing and they were about to break up, she said if we don't split now, it's going to be harder later. And that line definitely goes throughout the rest of the film. And then we see the end, and it's like, yep, she was right. If you don't split now, you're not going to be able to split later, and they didn't. So yeah, this was a fucking good movie. I really liked it, especially since this dude has not done that many films. I think he did a great job, and I would not be interested in the sequel, but I would be interested in what this dude does next. So I'm glad everybody except Spike, for the most part, dug it. And this is a movie that I would definitely watch again because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I missed. So yeah, anybody got any final thoughts, or are we good?
Yeah, I thought it was clever, man. I thought it was a very clever, creative movie. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't know how I was gonna feel exactly, but I think we got to start talking about Neon, man, the way we talk about A24.
I said this a few months ago. When it comes to horror, that I think Neon is actually creeping up there, and they're doing just as well as A24.
Yeah.
they had a couple good previews too coming into this one. Two neon horror movies. It was two new horror movies coming into this one that they were promoting.
You don't remember the names of them?
Oh, I can't remember.
well, hopefully they don't fall off too, right?
All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. I'm glad y'all, for the most part, hopefully y'all enjoyed it and you share it with some friends. And let me know what you thought of this, and let me know if you got all of these references and deep cuts and deep thoughts and all this shit. But we will see y'all next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.